Now is that time. No? It's not about in the future. It's not something to look forward. Oh, in the distant future, I shall reach there. It's not about there. The place is now, here, and now. No? In the Gita, chapter 8, verse 10 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gave a very beautiful said, at the time of death, those who put their mind, through devotion, focus the mind in between the third eye, through devotion and the power of yoga, they shall attain that Supreme Purusha. Huh? So when we see that, again here you hear, at the time of death, here death doesn't mean to die. Because you are eternal soul. You are Atma, which is eternal. How can you die? You can't die. But something inside of you must die. That is the death of the ego. The death of the ego, which means move away from that mindset, that body consciousness, and that intellect which you have forged and created, which you have imagined throughout that it is you, body, mind, and intellect. He said, no. That is all in the domain of the ego. As long as the ego is playing the game, you are not alive. That is what have to die. The death of the ego. Then he said, through devotion, through bhakti, and the power of yoga. What bhakti is? That tonality, when he said they attain to that supreme, which means the lover and the beloved fuse. This is the union of the lover and the beloved, which means the joy and happiness of the beloved become the joy and happiness of the lover. That's what is bhakti. When one doesn't see that it's not only worshipping on the outside, but that constant worship of the heart. Constant worship, which means constant absorption into that remembrance of that beloved at all time, not only when you are sitting in the temple or when you are doing some religious things, No. Time to time, you are always absorbed in remembrance of your beloved. That is bhakti. In that sentence, when Bhagavan is talking about that bhakti, he said, when the death of the ego happened, devotion must be there. Without bhakti, one doesn't know. Without that devotion, that fusion doesn't happen. That joy and happiness of the beloved, the lover will never know. As long as one stayed on the outside, you will not know. You have to dare to enter into the domain of the beloved. And that is bhakti. And how you will attain to that bhakti, it is through the power of yoga. Here I'm not talking about taking your leg and put it on your head. That will not lead you anywhere. It is about that controlling of the senses, controlling of the organs of senses, controlling of of the prana itself, controlling of your breathing. Everybody will say, yes, I love God. No? Have the beloved shown himself to you? Have that beloved reveal himself to you? Yes, he have. He have revealed his presence inside of your heart. He have revealed his presence all around you, but yet you have stayed blind in recognizing him because you were looking for him elsewhere, where daily he revealed himself to you. Where was your mind? You are waiting for a heaven, a fictional heaven somewhere. And yet you can't even appreciate being that lover into this life itself. And yet you think that when you die you will go there because he's patiently waiting for you. What would he do with you? In this life you could not build your relationship with the beloved. You have not become the lover of thy beloved. And yet you expect the beloved will say, yes, I've been longing for him to die. Then why you wait? Die now. If it is so easy that you think that the moment you die, you will grow wings and fly to some fictional heaven, it will not happen like that. That bhakti must be there. That devotion must be there inside of you. That mind must be completely absorbed in him. Like I continue to remind you, so many times, it's so beautiful that he have given his name. Why do you think it's just beautiful just to put your hand in the bag and just chant like that? It is a trend. No. It's an absorption of the mind unto that supreme. Because that divine name carries a certain vibration which raise your consciousness. But raise you beyond your mind, your body and your intellect. Disconnect you from that which you think you have created a certain identity. That's what the name does. That is the secret and the power of the name. It raises you to such that you will never say, yes, I long for him only once when I go there. No. You will realize him each moment. You are not far away from him. But that happens only when the ego is dead. This is the death of the ego. As long as the ego is very alive, no, it's far away. As long as you hold on to your pity self, it is far away. Allow yourself to be consumed by that joy and happiness of the beloved. Allow to be consumed to such extent that you fused with that beloved. And that is all these great saints have fused their love with him. They didn't do much. They didn't do great penance. They were not sitting in cave. Well, some of them. To put certain discipline on themselves, to control that mind. Of course, some of them were sitting in cave, But most of them, the bhakti saints, they were all chanting and singing the glory of Bhagwan. This was the object of their meditation, the object of their life itself. And this is the power of the name. Once, Rama and Hanuman was talking. Ram said to Hanuman, look at this. How beautiful, Have you ever seen more powerful weapon as my bow? Ramban, my bow. Look at this, how wonderful it is, this weapon. I shoot an arrow, it will go to its target. It will never miss its target. And it will kill that person. Not only killing, it will even liberate the person. And then that arrow will come back to me. Rama was so happy. He said to Hanuman, have you ever seen such powerful weapon? Rama was expecting Hanuman to say, no. Hanuman said, yes. I have seen more powerful weapon than that. Rama was shocked. He said, what kind of weapon is that? He said, I have learned that weapon from Bharat. It's called Nam Bhan, which is the name. That power which the name holds, it don't kill the person. It liberates the person when the person is still alive. And this is the most powerful. It's not only liberate the person, it liberates also the person around. And this is the power of name, actually. You know? So, if you want your ego to die, you have to learn to build up that bhakti. Not only devotion on the outside, but also constant devotion into the inside. By observing yourself inside, observing your breathing. When Bhagavan is talking about prana, he's also talking about that breathing, what we do night and day, that life force itself. That's what will bring us unto Him. When Mahatar Babaji gave the Kriya, Kriya is a breathing exercise. No? Not just to do it in the morning and in the evening. That morning and evening practice, it's a constant reminder of that life energy inside of us. And without that life energy, you will not be able to do anything. And through that life energy itself, you can come to that point of attaining the joy and happiness of that beloved. So, that's where one have to reside. No? Not once when you disappeared from here. No, now. Yesterday I was saying, you have to become saint. No? I didn't say when you die, then some organization make you saint. This kind of saint are not, it's useless. We want a life saint. No? And that is to each one of you, to attain to that love and devotion, that joy, that happiness of thy beloved inside of you. Jai Gurudev.